Spit bars, I stand behind mine. Yeah. Sentences I serve, maximize guidelines. My lawyer can't give me his advice when these beasts that I murder carry mandatory minimums of life. Yikes. In case you didn't get the point, we spit bars.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Maximum Sentence, where there's conviction behind the bars. I'm your man, AJ Throwback. Great to be here with you on another awesome Wednesday where we are continuing our breakdown of the B-side of my latest single, Chasing Maria, which is Fashionably Late, featuring Clutch the Rapper. But before we go any further, if this is your first time watching any of my content, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that bell notification so whenever I go live, post a new video, premiere a new video, you'll be among the first to know. Now, let's get to some of these comments from our Maximum Sentence faithful. So the first comment comes from my sis, my lip service on IG. She says, interesting perspective, excellent wordplay. And similarly to the same line, this was in response to Chasing Maria. My bro, Bugsy H, shout out to my main man, Bugsy H. If y'all have not heard his Sabatu project, please check it out. Dope project from front to back, as always. He says, fire line, bro. And this is in response to the line from Chasing Maria, my last snippet that I pointed out, talking about pretty girl tax. And so it goes to the whole line, besides she might be out for rodeo, it isn't in your make to be her out for Romeo. So definitely appreciate the feedback on that. And then the first comment regarding Fashionably Late comes from my bro Mike Mountain. He says, yo, you right, DC area and go-go left little wiggle room to dance to or express yourself with other music back in the day. Literally, it's that small town state of mind. And yeah, y'all have to go to my response from the last episode of The Maximum Sentence to see exactly what I said in response, but I couldn't agree more with my bro Mike Mountain. And I had to get this last comment in from my sis, Ansley Jukebox Joy. She says, what a beautiful message about not letting anyone stand in your way of a good time, especially about dancing. When I danced the first time outside of my room, I was so nervous. It was like 8th grade, but it took me 1 year of being scared to dance in front of others to get to the point where I danced no matter who was there. Once I stopped caring what people thought, I could actually freestyle in different spaces and not feel threatened. And that is when me and the crew I was started with battling. Thanks for sharing your story through your wonderful lyrics, and thank you for responding to the story in that way. That's exactly why I do this platform, for comments like those, to have these shared experiences or similar experiences connected to my music. So thank you so much for this comment, sis. Thanks to everybody for continuing to watch, continue to support The Maximum Sentence, continue to support the singles that are out, both Chasing Maria and Fashionably Late, which are part of the same single, which if you don't have, please make sure that you go get it. BAMMLLC.net/music. And you can also go to my Bandcamp page, which is ajthrowback.bandcamp.com. Both places you can get the single. So now we are continuing in the B-side of Fashionably Late, featuring Clutch the Rapper. This week we are digging into the second verse. So the first 4 bars where I say, rewind, 87 was a time, house party contest, won himself a couple dimes, dancing wasn't on his mind as a thing that he would love, spend his money on them cherry 7-Ups and Reese cups, speed it up. So 87, that line comes from when there was a house party that my aunt had over her apartment when she used to live in Southeast off of Minnesota Avenue. And so they had an apartment over there. We had a house party. I had them in like 7. I hadn't yet turned 8, but the house party was over there. We had such a great time. It was a dance contest. So like you know, the better you dance, the more money you got. You know, what's funny is that, you know, like I feel like y'all know where I'm gonna go with that, and I'm just gonna leave it there. But I'm not gonna say more. Y'all know exactly where I'm headed. But anyway, so we at this party. The better you dance, the more money you get. And so like I remember getting, I think I might have got one of the highest amounts out of everybody. I got $1.41. So I came in like maybe 2nd or 3rd place. Like somebody was dancing just a little bit better than me. But I was in the running though. I was in the running. But when you're 7, the last thing you necessarily thinking about is how well you dance. You thinking about that money, because for me, I don't know about anybody else. Now, granted, I was the type of kid that was pretty good at saving my money, but I was also 7. So one of the first things I thought about is, hey, I sit here and I take my allowance money and I'm responsible with that. But this money, this $1.41, I'm about to take this, go to the truck, go get me some Boston baked beans, some lemon heads, whatever. I'm about to rack up on the truck, which goes back to leaving Alice. Give me all your lemon heads, I'm about to make a quarter shower, But anyway, but I'm not necessarily thinking in the mindset of, oh, I just love dancing so much. Now, granted, most normal kids love to dance. But it's not a thing where it's like, oh my gosh, like I absolutely dancing is one of these things that is going to change my life. Like, I'm not thinking like that at 7 years old. My thing is I like to dance around and have a good time. The music, I love music. Now, that's something I definitely have always thought about or was conscious about my entire life, how much I love music. But the connection of music and dance was something that did not come until later. So we'll get there. So then going to the next set of lines, 91 to 94, that was past tense. Dances with crass kids, he was absent. Scared of beats like his feet won't pick up. So how he gonna get down if he won't get up? Fall of 91, that's when I entered the 7th grade, Jefferson Junior High School, Southwest DC. And I had a really hard time fitting in the 7th grade. There were a couple of grades for me that were really rough. 2nd grade was rough. 4th grade was rough. 7th grade was actually my last really rough grade, even though 8th grade, I actually couldn't stand the 8th grade, but I actually hated 7th grade worse than 8th grade. But it was hard for me to fit in. I felt like kids didn't like me. I got called all types of names. Some of the names I ain't necessarily gonna say on this platform, but let's just say I had a high top fade and it didn't quite go over well with these kids in the 7th grade. And I ended up cutting my hair partially to keep these kids from teasing me, and they teased me worse. So couldn't really win for losing. So that's what I was dealing with in the 7th grade. So dealing with that, feeling like I didn't fit in, and feeling like dances at this particular point of life were for the more popular kids or the cooler kids, I didn't feel comfortable going to dances. There were a bunch of dances between the time that I was in the 7th grade until the time I was in the 9th grade. I didn't go to not near one of them until we graduated from junior high. It took me us graduating from junior high for me to go to a dance, finally go to a dance. So I go to this dance and there's a go-go band playing. And we all having a good time or whatever. Or, I'm having a good time. I'm trying to really get into the groove and enjoy myself and all of this and all of that. So it was this kid, I'm not gonna name him by name, you know what I'm saying? I don't dislike him to this day. He's actually one of my Facebook friends. And I thought we were cool at the time. But we're on the balcony, we're all chilling or whatever. And so he says to me, to my surprise, I'm totally not expecting him to say this, because like I said, I'm thinking we're cool. He says to me, man, Joe, you ain't got no rhythm. And I'm just like, what? I'm befuddled. What do you mean I don't have no rhythm? What does that even mean? I'm sitting here I am thinking I'm dancing to the beat and I'm having a good time and all of this and all that. And he says this and it made me self-conscious not only for the rest of the night, but it made me self-conscious whenever I went out and partied for probably the next year or so after that. I didn't feel comfortable once again. Here I am letting down my guard, feeling comfortable to go to these parties. And this dude says this and I'm like, am I the dude that dances on the 1 and the 3? Am I the dude that dances to the words? You know what I mean? Am I that guy? Am I that black dude who does this? Who the rhythm gene missed him? Is that what's going on? So, like I said, for the next year and a half, I don't really feel comfortable going to parties. So there was another party in between that particular occasion and when I went to this event at the Armory, the DC Armory, where Junkyard was playing. So this one particular dance that I go to, now granted at that time, like I'm with my girlfriend in the 10th grade. And so we go to this party. Now mind you, it's at like a church or something like that. I just remember this. This was my boy Mike. This was his church. This was on like Alabama Avenue over there, like right when you get into Fairfax Village. We go to this party, do whatever. And I'm still like, in my mind, I have this in my brain. And I'm just like, bruh, really? It's just like, I just don't feel comfortable dancing. Like, I don't feel comfortable really kind of sort of being the life of the party. I feel like I'm being scrutinized. I feel like I'm under the microscope. I just don't feel comfortable with what's going on. And so it wasn't until I went to this event at the Armory, the DC Armory, where Junkyard was playing. And that was the first time that I really felt comfortable, or one of the first times that I felt comfortable being myself. But that was to go-go music. And so I only really felt comfortable being myself or dancing or whatever with go-go music playing. But when it came to like really any other kind of music, like I liked all types of music. But the vibe in DC was, we dance to go-go. We have the most fun to go-go. We turn up the most to go-go. And so it's like, I just really never really felt comfortable until I got to New York, until I got to Hobart and William Smith colleges and those parties. So then we get to the line where I say, but 3 sweet years later, surprising everybody, had a meek peer came up. The go-go's made him hungry, got his deep fizz, ate up, now he like baby Pete, what these feet here made of. So part of it was like what I just outlined. Part of it was the whole thing with getting to school, but another part of it was the Battle of the Bands, one of the last Battle of the Bands that I remember as a teenager. 1997, this had to be like August of 1997. It's hot. I mean, like sweating buckets, just dripping buckets. It had to have been like 95 degrees without the heat index. The heat index probably turned it up to like 100, 105. We are like a bunch of 17-year-old sweaty teenagers just out here partying all the bands, like any band that you could think of. Backyard, Junkyard, Essence, Huckabucks, Groovers. I swear it was, maybe Pleasure was playing that day too. But like pretty much all the bands that was popping at that time was cranking that day. You know what I'm saying? Probably no two bands more than Backyard and Junkyard. Essence was cranking too, but this was like Backyard and Junkyard's like height when they were like really, it was always a thing of Uptown versus Southside. You know what I'm saying? The Uptown people always was with Backyard. Southside people was always with Junkyard. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things, especially at that particular time. But like, because I had become comfortable leading up to that point, talking about that one incident or that one event at the Armory, but then leading up to the Battle of the Bands, you're talking about a year and a half, a little bit over a year and a half period of me kind of sort of getting more comfortable with it. But then again, once I get to school, it gets even more comfortable. So we had this spot at my school called the Barn, and it literally looked like a barn. That's where we would have all of our main parties. Like, I mean, once we got older, we would go places like downtown. It was this one spot we had called the Holiday. Then there was another spot we had, not the Rum Runner. What was the other spot that we used to go to? I can't remember the one spot that was on one of the main strips downtown Geneva, New York. But it was the other spot we used to go to that was like a big time spot. But before we went to those places, it was the Barn. That's where all the parties were. That's the part. It was a crazy party, let me tell y'all. So Fat Man Scoop came to our school. And I mean, the party was turned. But what happened was, it was this one girl, I can't remember her name, but this one girl, she got a little bold, and she was feeling herself, and she kind of tried to get up on stage with Fat Man Scoop. Now granted, this girl was probably all of like 90 pounds soaking wet. Fat Man Scoop picked this girl up, turned her upside down, and basically was freaking her upside down. And it was just like the craziest thing that we probably ever seen at a party, up to that point. Like, this is the type of parties that we were having at school. This is the type of stuff that, like, I was attending by this point. Whatever party was popping at school, usually I was there. Versus when I was in junior high and you couldn't drag me out to a party. You could barely drag me out to one in high school unless it was go-go. You know what I'm saying? But then you get to this point, I'm at all the parties. And it was a certain amount of people. I know some people that probably remember that party. But unfortunately, that was one of those situations where the girl felt really uncomfortable. I think she actually ended up filing a complaint in the situation. Unfortunately. And to a certain degree, I understood where she was coming from. But not to get too far off topic, this was the type of wild stuff that was going on, that I was there for. And I was dancing. And I wasn't sitting on the wall. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I was comfortable in who I was. And it became a thing where, like, then you get to the lines. So as long as he done waited, he ain't leaving quick. A second doesn't stress him in the least bit. Get that Avion ready if you keeping up. He'll be still cranking when they sweeping up. So, as long as he done waited, like all of that time that I had to kind of sort of step into being comfortable at being at these parties, being in my own skin and being cool with who I am, how I dance, the energy that I bring to a party, I had to get comfortable with that. And once I was, you couldn't pull me away fast enough. The whole thing of, so as long as he done waited, he ain't leaving quick. So that goes to whenever I would go to parties. Now this is talking beyond college, because when we in college, it's like we all young, you know what I'm saying? We shutting it down. We, all of us are basically sweeping up with the bus boys at that point. But when you get older, especially when you hanging around certain people that been partying longer than you, they the ones that's like, they might be at the party 40 minutes and they ready to roll, or they trying to leave early, or they'll get there, but they not, half the time they're not even dancing. I'm out dancing them. I'm out partying them. It's like, look, I'm not coming here to just be here for 40 minutes or an hour. If it's a 4-hour event, I'm trying to be there for at least 2. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to get my time's worth. I ain't gonna say money's worth, because a lot of events I would end up going to, especially if it was anything dealing with my job, like they were free events. So I didn't have to pay a lot of times. Like, don't let us have them holiday parties. Anybody that's from DC that know about the attorneys in the city and the type of holiday parties when they did them in their prime, they know about them holiday parties and how lit them joints could be. I mean, like literally shutting them joints down. Like they sweeping up and everything, like that's the point that I got to, that you could not pull me off the dance floor. And if you tried to impede my progress of having fun, I would look at you like you crazy, like Slim, like go over there. Like if you want to be chilling at the bar, if you want to be posted up being cool, that's fine. I'm over here on the dance floor. You can go over there. Cause it's like I spent too much time on the sidelines. So why then, after spending so many years on the sidelines, taking myself out of the game, so to say, why then, now that I'm comfortable in who I am, I'm comfortable with partying, I'm comfortable with sometimes even being the life of the party, why then would I take myself out purposely just to be cool? Now, if conversation is flowing fine, I'm perfectly cool with that. But one of the things I always hate about trying to have conversations at parties is you're trying to compete with the music. And I'm already halfway hard of hearing from years of, whether it's playing my music, listening to it as a producer, or years of blasting Walkmans in my ears, damaging my freaking eardrums. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I'm a lot better now, but back then, it's crazy. So I'm not trying to sit here and hold conversations with people competing with the music. You want to talk? Wait till it's over. You want to dance? Come out here with me. You know what I'm saying? You want to have fun? Come out here with me. Otherwise, later for all that. So, like I said last week, the thing about this song is that although it's literal, it's also a metaphor for there are so many things that I took myself out the game for, that I sat on the sidelines for, that I was a wallflower with in so many different aspects of my life. And so it caused me to be delayed. It caused me to not be on time for the greatness, not be on time for the good times, to miss out on so many different occasions. Anybody who may know me really, really well will also know about me that I have a low-key case of FOMO, fear of missing out. I hate missing out on stuff. If I even think it's about to be a good time and I'm not there, I'm upset. You know what I mean? And it's not just when it comes to parties, it's really when it comes to any opportunity. If I feel like I'm missing out on an opportunity to really live my best life, I'm gonna feel some kind of way about it. You know, and a lot of times it's been to a fault. I ain't gonna sit here and hold you. But what I've had to learn is that there's certain situations where, yeah, you do kind of have to be a wallflower. You do have to kind of sort of play it a little bit low key. You gotta step back a bit. But if there's an opportunity for me to truly be myself, to really let loose, then I can't let anything or anyone stand in my way, especially me. Because at the end of the day, going back to those parties, all those parties that I missed, all of those school dances I missed for 3 years. I missed 3 years worth of school dance. I never went to a school dance at all during the entire time that I was at Jefferson Junior High. Not one. I waited until we were no longer Trojans to go to a party. And once I went to that party, I was insulted. And I almost took myself out the game after that happened. But I refused to. Because when it comes down to it, you can't let anybody talk you out of living your best life. You can't let anybody talk you out of enjoying life, enjoying the moments, because that's what it's all about. When it comes down to partying or dancing or having a good time, it's about enjoying the moments. And you have to be present in order to enjoy the moments. If you're not present, I mean, you can enjoy moments that have nothing to do with those specific occasions, but what if you go? I guess that's really the best way to put it. What if you go? What if you actually have the bravery to say, you know what, I'm gonna go there. And I'm just gonna let it flow. I'm gonna let the feeling of the moment flow through me, like I told y'all last week when it came to that Busta Rhymes, put your hands where my eyes could see. When that song played, I let the music flow through me. And that's what it ended up becoming, letting the music flow through me. Flip it into a metaphor. Let the music of life flow through you. Let the moments of life flow through you and guide you toward stepping into some places or stepping into some rooms or stepping into some zones that you might not normally step into. Because somebody might have said, you don't belong here. Somebody might have said, oh, you a little out of step. Somebody might have said something to you to really just knock you off of your square. But you got to get back up on it and say, you know what? Again, like I said last week, you cannot let anybody keep you from having a good time. You cannot let anybody keep you from your moment, because at the end of the day, it's your moment. You own it. You got to own it, because the other people, they going to enjoy themselves. But what you going to do? As my man Carter always say, you going to barbecue or you going to mildew? You know what I mean? So it's really just as simple as that at the end of the day. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. All right. So talking about this new single that's out, Fashionably Late, featuring Clutch the Rapper, which is the B-side of my latest single, Chasing Maria. The place where you can get that single is the same place where you could get the merch that you see on me right now. You can get this snapback, the old gold snapback with the badge logo, real simple. You can also get this very shirt, which is becoming one of my most popular shirts, which says, y'all ran out of seats? Cool, always keep a big chair. Same place. You can get the music, you can get the merch, the same website, BAMMLLC.net, Once again, that is BAMMLLC.net. Get the music, get the merch. If you get the music, you can connect to your favorite streaming platform from there, and you can also connect to my Bandcamp page. But if you want to go directly there, you can go there as well. If you are a Bandcamp person, ajthrowback.bandcamp.com. Once again, that's ajthrowback.bandcamp.com. If you are just watching this series for the first time, or you might have come back a couple of times, but you still haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you might not like every time that you come on, you might not comment, you might not share. Please, please, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that bell notification. So whenever I go live, post a new video, premiere a new video, you'll be among the first to know. And if you're not already following me on social media, please do so. I follow back as long as you ain't weird, as long as you ain't, trying to hit me in my inbox talking about growing my Instagram or organic growth, that nonsense, because it's never organic. As long as you don't know that stuff, I will accept your friend request. So please make sure that you follow me. Facebook, Twitter, same thing, at AJ Throwback. But if you are an Instagram or TikTok person, it is at a.j.throwback. Follow me on all of them if you're on all of them. I will definitely follow you back for sure. So next week, this is going to be a maximum sentence first. We are going to have my man Clutch the Rapper on with us to talk a little bit about his verse, kind of frame his verse in the sense of his own experiences, and maybe I'll connect some of my experiences to his verse as well. But until then, I want y'all to make sure y'all enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend, and I'm gonna see y'all next Wednesday for another edition of The Maximum Sentence, where there's conviction behind the bars. I'm your man AJ Throwback, and until next time, I will see y'all later. Peace.
To the party, I be still dance, but I gotta make it to the party for a real chance. Starting on chillin', being cool like a ceiling fan, even